What's up, everybody? We back with another video. Thank you to all my new subscribers and future new subscribers. We do nothing here without God. Everything is spiritually led by God over here. And we cover things from a spiritual and physical aspect to uncover the raw, real, and uncut answer. Okay? Whatever you hear in anything in this world, I cannot stress this enough. Make sure you go to prayer and take it back to God. Okay? Meaning test the spirits. That is what that means. All right? Take the words back to God. We need it more than anything in these end times. All right? So I want to go over Damar Hamlin's video that was put up by the Bills on their channel. Yeah, there's a lot going on with that. And I always take things back to God before I do stuff. And I asked the Father, I said, so for some clarity, I said, so what's going on now? I know what I saw, but what's going on now? He says, the devil, and he sent me this confirmation too, as well after speaking. The devil cannot attack our faith directly with God, but he can do other methods indirectly to attack our faith in God and lead us in a different direction than what God has us in. And he says, one way, and what way with this case is the devil trying to do that? And I had to think about it. I say, perception, the ability, our abilities to hear and see using our senses. So to determine what's real or fake, you know, what you taste, is it nasty or is it good, you know? That's what he's using in this case. And he warned of the devil's illusions and delusion to people, the illusion to the believers and the delusion to the non-believers in God, or people that aren't just are living in the matrix. And basically with that video, that's what he's doing. And it's called deep fake being used in this situation. Like, they've been testing and testing it, and I will show y'all videos at the end of that, but they're using it. It's the ability to deceive, attacking our perception. And when it comes down to it, a lot of the people that, you know, are noticing these things with the jab, they're calling it out. And a lot of people now, no, God did not tell me he was cloned, because if he was cloned, y'all had to make it make sense. He would have appeared out on the field, quote unquote, the clone. So it's not no clone. But essentially, the people, the believers, are saying the jab, you know, is doing this, and it's hurting people. And there are people that say, oh, all these conspiracy theories. So with this perception attack, basically the believers look like they're crazy, and the people that are in delusion stay in delusion furthermore. Make sense? So let's go over this video essentially. Oh yeah, the main three things with this case: the jab, God exposed the jab. He told me he saved Damar's life. So whatever's going on here, they're trying to cover, and he's going to try to cover up God's work, the devil. And then you got the toy drive that's going to be very significant to what God is planning to do for the kids, to lead them away from the devices that Satan has, with satanic ideas that these companies have been doing. It's been in plain sight. So God has a alternative for kids. All right, so let's go into it. All right, you guys, so my first issue with this video is this, from the details I've picked up. There's no sound when he is walking in the hallway. Like, it doesn't pick up sound until, like, the cameraman maybe moves back, or it seems like they try to get the sound of him brushing up against the wall. But there's no sound. And then when he walks in, there are men standing there, and they don't even look at him walk in. Like, they got their hands behind their back, and they're not moving. They're not moving. They don't even turn heads. Like, that's strange. All right, the second issue I have so far is if you take a look at the chair spacing, like they cut the camera too on this part, but the chair spacing is, they got a decent little space between them. So I'm trying to figure out what he was sitting on when the camera cut to that next scene. Okay. So this is problems 2 and 3 that I had. The chair spacing, like what, then they cut the camera and then it's a blurry background. A blurry background completely. Um, and then what does he sit on? It sounds like he sits on a stool. So then that is basically a background. And you got to think, we got smartphones that record with better quality of a background. If y'all get what I'm saying, like they doing this professionally, so that's very strange. He sits his jacket on something, but then there's a background because his alignment with the seating is not right. What is he sitting on? They okay, yeah. All right, the next issue that I have here is the tattoos. Now, he walks through the door and you kind of see maybe what it seems like facing forward. You always see him when he's facing forward. Um, you see a little bit, like it looks like you can see it a little bit. But then with his back turned with the whole defect, they couldn't get the tattoos from the back turn because they didn't have images of that. They couldn't get it. There is none. So they're gone. And he has like millions on his right arm. So you should be able, it's not low enough where you can't actually see the top of the letters from the millions from that right arm tattoo. What happened to that? And he even throws the jacket and everything. Whoever is playing the double of him. So it's not a clone, it's a double with the deep fake. That's how it works. The tattoos are missing, so that person didn't have his tattoos. They didn't have it. Then when the person turns around and sits down, then the tattoos are there. See, as an editor, y'all, it's the little things. People, like, pay attention. Tattoos don't disappear and reappear. You should be able to see them big old letters, the top part, somewhat on his arm. And also, I want to point out he was in the hospital with that same right arm with something, an IV and all that stuff stuck in his arm. Where his skin looks great, you know, not like stuff had been stuck in his. Yeah, moving on.
Now that my brothers have closed out a strong winning season, as I continue to make so much progress recovering, I think it's finally a good time to share a few things. I think it was important for me to wait and speak publicly at the right time, as it was just a lot to process within my own self, mentally, physically, even spiritually.
All right, this is just a little small piece here. The jacket. If you notice, there's two white things on the side of him. Seems like the portraying of his jacket on both ends. So it's like they noticed, oh snap, this doesn't line up. So we gonna move the jacket behind like you, and to make it seem like it lines up. The devil, stop playing with me. Y'all hear them horns? Always mess up. Don't do nothing when I'm not recording, but want to act up because I'm on point. The jackets, the arms are there. They portray the arms. Those are the white pieces of that jacket. But it's not lining up with the seats. Like he's taller than the seats. What's he sitting on? It's a stool and a background back there, and then there's something behind him to sit his jacket on to give that illusion. Come on now, that don't make sense. This is my sixth problem when he says speak, or whoever's portraying him says speak publicly at the right time. So that was basically addressing the covering of the face and them trying to say he was at the game covered up. It wasn't him, y'all. It was different people playing him. Covered up. For the people that's saying it's a clone, it's not a clone because the devil, you got to think of things from spiritual aspects. We don't battle flesh and blood. We wrestle against the spirit in the spirit. So there's a spirit of the enemy. There's the Holy Spirit, you know, demons, angels. So we wrestle those demons. And essentially, the devil, you got to think what the devil trying to do, cover up the jab, right? So it'd be, if Damar was dead, it'd be easier to make up an excuse to why he's dead. Because if he actually did die, the devil don't have no problem announcing death. They take joy in that. But, and because so many people are already living in the matrix and are deceived, he doesn't have to do much work to lie about the jabs taking people out, you know, to cover that up. So the fact that he's not dead and he's somewhere else is even more scary. And he can, they can put somebody out there and with no face attached to him and say that's who it is, and the world will believe it. Come on, y'all. People say it's still weird. Why didn't you show your face? Because it wasn't him. That's common sense. That's actually common sense. Come on now. He's in the NFL or whatever, whatever his status is. He in somewhere, but being scared to address the public don't make no sense. That's not even logical. For people that try to play this logical role all the time, that y'all don't even sound logical with this. So then it leads me to when he says a lot to process within myself mentally, physically, and spiritually. Now, most people say mentally and physically, but spiritually was add. Because guess what? Everything is spiritually led. So listen, everything so far that I've been saying in my videos, or the videos, they God's messages for me to give out, more so. Remember how I said the devil has completely just taken what God has tried to do and expose and all that and cover it up because people ain't talking about God no more. So why all of a sudden now God mentioned? It seemed like everything I've been saying in the videos that God has been relaying to me is now being put in this script. Is that not? Come on now. I told y'all the devil and them demons be listening. And when you are chosen by God and you own it, it's a game of chess. Everybody playing this role and the side of things being used as pawns, and you got God's chosen fighting off these demonic forces. I'm telling y'all. So anyway, major cuts. Why is it cutting like that? Taking different shots. That's very strange too. Just strange. I don't know if they did it on purpose or not, but the deep fakes don't have all those cuts in it. So whoever did this need to be fired. All right, that's all I got to say, but the cuts are also weird.
It's just been a lot to process, but I can't tell you how appreciative I am of all the love, all the support, and everything that's just been coming in my way. What happened to me on Monday Night Football, I feel is a direct example of God using me as a vessel to share my passion and my love directly from my heart with the entire world. And now I'm able to give it back to kids and communities all across the world.
All right, y'all. So my next problem with this was what happened to me on Monday Night Football is an example of God using me as a vessel to share my passion and my love directly from my heart. That don't make no sense. God couldn't possibly have used him as a vessel when he got cardiac arrest. So y'all got to think about this. The devil is very smart. So instead of saying God saved my life, he says it like this to make it seem like God gave him the heart attack or the cardiac arrest. Excuse me. That's what it sounds like to people. God gave you cardiac arrest and then saved you? What? Because it's the illusion. Basically, the devil thinking like this. I'm not gonna have this person say out their mouth, God saved their life. He wouldn't dare do that. So he says, instead of saying the devil gave them cardiac arrest, spiritual attack, God used me as a vessel in this situation. No, that doesn't line up. God saved your life? You get what I'm saying? Like, no, it's to portray that, oh, God gave you the cardiac arrest. Because people that don't understand the spiritual world, that's what they're going to say. And that's what they are saying. So, and it's just a lot of people that as I was being led to some of this confirmation, some people were just saying, you need to thank the doctors, not God. Do you realize It doesn't matter what a person does. God decides who lives or dies. If you can't see what's going on in this world right now that's abnormal, or wrath and judgment being placed upon places in the world, then you are all the way asleep. And you about to get messed up in these end times if you don't change that mindset and actually open your eyes. Give back to kids the dream, stood for, continue to stand for. And he also mentions the toy drive later on. And I just want to point out that, of course, that's one of the things that God had told me was a key factor. So I told y'all, oh, people forgot about the toy drive now because the devil did this. Now look what happened. Now it gets mentioned. The devil be listening. The devil, he be trying to be slick, but he ain't slick. We catch everything.
Who need it the most, and that's always been my dream. That's always been what I stood for and what I'll continue to stand for. And with that being said, I want to thank a few people who helped me most directly to get back to this moment to where I'm able to speak to you. The Bills training, athletic, and medical staff, notably Nate, Denny, Joe Mika, Tabani, Dr. Bassan, Dr. White, Dr. Kim, Dr. Mark Feinberg, Joe Collins, Dr. Daz, Marissa, Dr. Musio, Corey Reblin, and last but not least, I can't forget Kels.
All right, so in this vision, y'all, remember I told y'all in the vision, and I'm going to play it for y'all too, that the vision of me being shown Damar in the hospital and what he was going through and all this different stuff going on, I mentioned that a man named Joe, says, "Hi, my name is Joe," walked up to Damar's mother and said some details to her. And she got upset and confused and said, "What does this have to do with my son?" You know, and in this clip, he mentions Joe Mika and Joe Collins from the Bills training, athletic, and medical staff. So Bills training and athletic and medical. So from their staff. Mighty funny. I have a vision. I hear a man say, "Hi, my name is Joe." From their staffing, there are two Joes in the staffing that walks up and tells her details she don't like. And she says, "What does this have to do with my son?" Not a coincidence whatsoever. God be coming through. "Baby, I'm here," like telling her son, "I'm here." And then I hear the father say, "NFL scum," because what happens next is what is concerning. So this is what God said, NFL scum. That's what he said. And this is why he said this. I see a suit and tie. So a man in a suit and tie come to where Damar is to talk to the parents. And I hear this name. He says, "Hi, my name is Joe. How's Damar holding up?" Like real calm and real civil. Y'all got to remember something too. Everything is spiritually led. So people may not realize that the devil is using them and demons are using them. You know, a lot of people don't understand that everything is spiritually led. So the mother gets upset. Now I see them conversating, but the mother starts to get upset and confused about the details being told to her. She's confused. She says, "What does this have to do with my son?" Okay? And this is what the man in a suit and tie says. He says, "We need to ease the media and the public with upcoming game." So for the upcoming game, he says, "Until he gets better, temporary. This is temporary." And I hear Damar say, like, ever so lightly, "Mama, what's going on?" when she comes back in the room. And then it skips to this whole other scene with these suit and ties, and it goes, "Crazy conspiracy theorist. Shut them up. This is making us look bad." God says, devil's agenda being played. So y'all got to understand something here. Please hear me when I say this. The details that, when you put in two and two together, it's the details that had to have been told to her was what needed to be done in order to ease the media.
The University of Cincinnati Medical Center, starting with Dr. Timothy Pritz, Dr. William Knight, and all the first responders who acted swiftly and skillfully to save my life. To all the medical personnel and healthcare providers at both Cincinnati Medical Center and Buffalo General Hospital, Dr. Jamie Nadler, Dr. Ken Snyder, Dr. Levy, and Dr. Chi Kim. To my mom and my dad, who are literally my anchors and my everything, who never left my side the entire time. To my little bro, who is my why, my reason why I strive to be my best self every day. And to all my family and friends who supported me in many ways during this time, whether it was showing up for visits or just a single text just to check on how I was doing. To Bills Mafia, I just want to thank you so much for the genuine love and support. Ever since I became a Buffalo Bill, it's been nothing but genuine love and support, not even only for me, but everyone's situation, no matter what it was, Bills Mafia jumped behind it and gave 110% support, love, no matter the situation. With this happening to me, I didn't feel anything short of the love, and it really helped me stay encouraged to get through the toughest moments and the toughest times. I really can't thank you enough. To the entire Bills organization, my brothers who made it a priority to lift me up spiritually, mentally, and in every way possible, reaching out every day, seeing how I was doing, calling, texting, just checking up on me no matter the situation. I'm proud to be a part of this team. I'm proud to be able to call you guys my brothers. To the city of Cincinnati, the Bengals, and the entire NFL, just for putting team allegiance aside to root for one kid's life, and just the humanity of a player, that's wearing Buffalo blue. You put humanity above team loyalty. You showed the world unity over division. I'm not surprised by it, but I'm deeply grateful, and I'll be forever thankful and indebted to that. To all the kids who sent me letters and heartwarming gifts, you mean the world to me. You made my day every day. You inspire me to keep dreaming big and to just continue to keep helping making this world a better place. It's always been important for me to be a role model, but just seeing the love and the support from the youth, it just makes me want to give back and get out in the communities and touch the kids and just be that example that they can look to, touch, feel, talk to, and know that whatever they dream of, it's real. It can happen if you stay focused, stay dedicated, stay committed to whatever you got going on, because that's pretty much what got me here. That's what got me in this position. Thank you to everyone who donated in any type of way to the Chasing Them's Foundation. My mind is literally blown away from all the support. I don't even have the words to express the gratitude for the amount of support that was given into that. That was something that was started even way before I made it to the NFL. Something that was started small just to be able to affect my small community back at home at Keys Rocks.
Just want to mention something too, because this is a big issue. At 4:59 in the original video, it seems like his voice have changed to his actual and original voice. Like they played a clip from something he said about his toy drive, that was given to them, or they interviewed him or something before he started maybe playing. Because he did the toy drive beforehand. Yes, he Chasing Millions was his thing beforehand. His voice changes. Do y'all hear that? Like, his voice literally changes in the clip. And I'm gonna play a clip of him actually talking. This actually sounds like him from his prior interviews and videos.
Experience with Bills Mafia was when a fan had tweeted, "Get ready for all the blue cheese," and from being from Pittsburgh, we like ranch with our wings. So I had tweeted something saying the blue cheese wasn't for me, but we gonna.
Even way before I made it to the NFL, something that was started small just to be able to affect my small community back at home at Keys Rocks. Well, I'm so thankful to everybody. I know that it isn't enough just to be thankful. This is just the beginning of the impact that I wanted to have on the world. And with God's guidance, I will continue to do wonderful and great things. I couldn't do this without any of the support and the love, and I can't wait to continue to take y'all on this journey with me.
And last but not least here, the tattoos, ladies and gentlemen, are all there on the arms, just like the picture. See that? So you can take what's on this picture, do the heart, put the face there, and put it all together with the deep fake. Boom. So how do tattoos disappear and then reappear? Make that make sense. So for all the people covering this stuff, and saying conspiracy theories and really coming at people, you need to understand that in the Bible, God tells us not to believe the conspiracy of what the world calls conspiracy and to be in human tradition because of stuff like this. Like, how can you not see this? If you're going to cover something, make sure you do look at every detail. If you're going to actually cover something, look at it. How do you miss stuff like that? But anyway, from everything I've been saying and the visions and things God's been giving me and the warning he gave me about the devil's illusion and delusion he's giving the world to the worldly, bro. And I hear a siren. Hold on. Y'all hear that? Just listen for a second. Police. Bro. God. What is happening here? Where is that police officer going? Holy macaroni. God always sending confirmation to me when I do videos. That's crazy. And usually when God sends me, he do it at the time I'm always recording. So it's crazy. He do it at the time I'm recording. It's, what? He just did it. God sends me confirmation using stuff like this. And usually that means justice will be served or judgment. And he waited for me to record. I'm telling y'all, judgment is coming. He told me, judgment is coming. Judgment is coming. That's what he told me. So for them doing what they're doing, the NFL and all this stuff, judgment is coming. That's what God trying to let you know. Justice about to be served. Y'all ain't getting away with this. And whatever y'all doing to that family, whatever y'all got going on, y'all ain't finna get away with it. That family is in danger and in trouble, y'all, and God let me know something is wrong. The mother looked uncomfortable at the game, and the picture being taken, she looked uncomfortable. God gave me that vision. That family, I pray for that family, but they not getting away with what they doing, and God just let you know it. So stop playing. Can't make that up. None of it. We're going to go into this deep fake. I'm going to end it off there because God already put his stamp and let you know what he wanted me to tell you. Peace and blessings. I'm going to get y'all this deep fake, how this actually work.
What's up, TikTok? All year long, Deep Tom Cruise has been posting videos showing what appears to be a different side of the Oscar-nominated actor.
I think there's bubblegum inside this.
People are surprised that I'm a big Dave Matthews guy.
But believe it or not, that's most definitely not Tom Cruise. Nor is this with me in our LA bureau.
This is serious, breaking news, but a little behind the scenes, a little flavor. I'm with one of the most legitimate correspondents on Earth. Now, if you're interviewing me, Jacob, you face it. Hold on just a second, there's a big fire. We're safe.
You are deepfake Tom Cruise.
That's me. That's me.
Miles Fisher may have an uncanny resemblance to the superstar, but using advanced technology, what he's created is far more than an extraordinary impersonation.
I am not Morgan Freeman, and what you see is not real. Well, at least in contemporary terms, it is not. What if I were to tell you that I am not even a human being? Would you believe me? What is your perception of reality? Is it the ability to capture, process, and make sense of the information our senses receive? If you can see, hear, taste, or smell something, does that make it real? Or is it simply the ability to feel? I would like to welcome you to the era of synthetic reality. Now, what do you see?
Side effects and deaths caused by vaccines. Transformative Health Justice CEO Shabnam Mohammed and their legal aid advocate Sabelo Sibanda join us now to unpack this just very quickly for us. Shabnam, I'm gonna just start with you. Is your issue the COVID-19 vaccine in general, or is it the announcement made in December by the Health Ministry that 5-year-olds to 11-year-olds would also now start being vaccinated?
Thank you, Masego. So the Stop the Shots case, against the backdrop of international investigations into safety and efficacy, is essentially catalyzed by doctors in South Africa who are seeing serious adverse effects and have tried to report this to SAHPRA and the Department of Health, not to be heard since at least February last year. The announcements you shared just now regarding 5 to 11-year-olds certainly gives this case urgency, as does the fact that we've discovered that under 5-year-olds are being injected unlawfully. But the case is essentially based on what doctors and healthcare workers are seeing in terms of adverse effects. They're being ignored. We know our healthcare system is in a crisis. We know the electricity crisis adds further challenges as to whether these injections are safe or not. And so what we're calling for is for independent joint investigations into safety, efficacy, and the necessity, in fact, of these really exorbitant products that we cannot afford. And we're also asking the respondents in this case to declare their conflicts of interest as it relates to decision-making about the C19 injections.
Well, the most critical aspect that I will speak to is that related to the precautionary principle, as Shabnam has mentioned. What we are asking the court to do is to say, temporarily, whilst we wait for an investigation to be carried out, let's stop the jabbing of the people. And here we're talking about every South African who is deemed to be eligible to take the shot. But of critical importance being the issue pertaining to the children. Because what we are saying to the court is simply that, look, there is something that is happening out there. The doctors who are hands-on, who see patients literally on a daily basis, are saying we are witnessing an increase in the number of patients who have had the jab. And because of what we are seeing, we are very much concerned to have this introduced to the children as well, because we do not have the necessary evidence as yet that indeed this is not going to affect the children in the same manner that we are beginning to see with the adults who have taken the jab. There is a sharp rise, and therefore we are now asking the court to say, let's stop for a while whilst we carry out an investigation.
So there's a sharp rise in what exactly, Mr. Sibanda? How are they drawing the conclusion that there's a rise in exactly what? And how are they drawing the conclusion that it is linked to the jab? I'm just trying to understand.
There is a high rise of patients who are reporting to doctors manifesting various symptoms, some of which are unexplainable in as far as what the doctors are saying. And the common denominator is that this is happening in people who have taken the jab. By taking the jab, I mean they are the people who have suddenly started to manifest these medical conditions which are a cause for concern. And so now we're saying that because of this rise that the doctors are reporting, it is necessary not to expose any other people to the possibility of suffering the same conditions. If this was being across the board, where across the board means to those who have taken the jab and those who have not taken the jab, then we would not be taking this kind of approach. The reason why we're taking this approach is because these conditions are peculiar to people who have taken the jab and to no one else. And more people are going to doctors with these conditions.